The Magician. Let's look at 10 of the most important symbols in this card. So to begin with, we have the magic wand. And it's one wand with two ends. They're the same. So it's one divided into two parts and two polar opposites form one. So the wand in itself is a symbol, a type of parable. So we can separate things and we can also bring them back together to take a different form. It can also mean the I, as in yourself, oneself, individuality, and uniqueness. So now if we look at the red cape, the red robe that he's wearing. So this can symbolize energy, passion, will, and the life in the blood. So love, but also vengeance, anger, rage. On a positive side, it can mean to live for your objectives and your purpose, and to keep following your desires, one's desires, the desires of one's heart. In a negative sense, it can mean a lack of motivation, selfishness, and that only your will is what's important, only what you want is important. So we look at the white tunic. In the same way as the white light is made up of being all the colours combined into one, the colours of the rainbow. It's a new start, a culmination, achievement. So in a positive sense, we can say that there's a lack of premeditation and there's an innocence. But in a negative sense, we can perhaps see disbelief and having to start from the beginning again and again. Next we're looking at what's actually on this table. So we have the wand or the staff, the sword, the cup, and the pentacle or gold. So this can mean everything that life brings you, everything that life gives you, and tasks and things that you need to do, things that need to be completed or experienced. So these are the tools of the magic, as it were, the magic tools. We have will, intellect, feelings, and earthliness, everyday things. Now we look at the table and we can see the markings. So this is a work table, which can represent reality and an altar. It can represent the present state of knowing what the particular individual is depending on past things inherited from the past, mysteries, traditional answers or solutions, challenges, current challenges, and hidden treasures. So now if we look at the flowers here at the bottom, we've got the lilies and the roses. So again, we have the theme of red and white. So if we compare this to the theme of red and white in his what he's wearing. So the roses represent, in a positive sense, a promise of happiness and success, a transformation of something maybe plain into something beautiful, into a garden. So like earth into a garden. In a negative sense, it can mean insisting in our rights, isolation, and loneliness. So they have a contrasting effect, just as these do. The red robe and the white tunic. We have the red roses and the white lilies. So now we look at the figure of 8, the horizontal figure of 8. So this can signify a what's it called? A roller coaster. So in a positive sense, it can mean the infinite. It can mean balance, constant movement, good vibrations, vitality, and to take part in eternity. But in a negative sense, it can be a sense of kind of chasing your own tail, just going round and round, restlessness, and repeating the same thing without any progress, just going round and round and round. So now let's look at his gesture with his arms, the position in which he's in. So it's a symbol of, as it is above, it is below, a reflection of the spiritual and the earthly. So the person is a vehicle of connection from above to below, from the heavens to the earth, from the spiritual to the earthly, to what's seen, the unseen to what is seen. A kind of channel between the two. The relationship between possibility and reality, and the success of the union between thought and works. So it's a great gesture to signify that, the channeling, the connection of the two. And next we have the serpent belt. So you can see that it's a serpent biting its own tail. And in the same tone with this 8, this is a sign of infinite, but also kind of a repeating without an end, going round and round. It symbolizes kind of getting rid of what we don't want anymore, and the permanent need of renovation and renewal. It can also mean venom, poison, temptation, and manipulation in a negative sense. And lastly, let's look at the yellow background. It can represent the sun, but it also looking for sense out of something, or envy, gold, or greed. So in a very broad sense, if you were to pull this card as, say, the card of the day, your card for the day, I would say expand your horizons and take advantage of every opportunity